Rachel was the only daughter of Pa James. Her mother died when she was just 2 years old. She was too small to understand anything. Since then, Pa James loved his daughter so much, and he doesn't joke with anything that concerns her. People advised him to remarry so someone could help him raise the child, but he refused. He said he did not want any woman to come and maltreat his daughter. He didn't trust anybody with her, but that didn't stop him from bringing different women into the house from time to time. Rachel saw all that while growing up. She had no mother figure in her life, and Pa James really spoiled her. He doesn't correct her nor discipline her whenever she misbehaved. If she cried for something, Pa James will give it to her immediately. He does not love to see her daughter crying. As she grew older, she became uncontrollable. Nobody could talk to her, not her teachers, not even older family members. She did not respect anybody. If an adult corrected her, she would hiss loudly and walk away. By the time she entered secondary school, her behavior had become the talk of the town. She was always in one kind of trouble or the other. If it wasn't for fighting with another student, it was for skipping classes or talking back at her teachers. One time, her class teacher called her out for not submitting her assignments, and Rachel replied, "Did you give me money for pen and book?" The whole class was shocked, but she did not care. She just folded her arms and looked away, like she didn't say anything wrong. Some days, she would come to school with long nails, painted red, and hair that clearly broke school rules. When the principal tried to discipline her, she looked him straight in the eye and said, "If you touch me, my daddy will come for you." Before long, parents in the area started warning their children, "Stay away from that Rachel girl. She is not a good influence." But Pa James did not see anything wrong. He would always say, "I didn't raise a dullard." He would say, "I raised a bold girl." To him, Rachel's rude behavior was confidence. He mistook stubbornness for strength. Even when the school sent letters home about her misconduct, Pa James would laugh and say, "It's because she's sharp. Teachers always fear children who knows their rights." By the time Rachel entered university, she now had her full freedom, and she made it very obvious that she didn't owe anyone any explanation. She does not respect the hostel rules, she does not listen to lecturers, and didn't take anything seriously unless it benefited her directly. She would miss classes for days. Rachel always wanted to do things her own way. She surrounded herself with the wrong kind of friends, girls who also believe that life is all about enjoyment. They spend more time planning outfits for parties than preparing for exams, and go for off-campus parties where they mingle with older men who gave them money in exchange for things no young girl should be doing. Rachel didn't grow up hearing the word no, so whatever she wants, she makes sure she takes it by force, and that leads to her being violent even on campus. During her final year at the university, Rachel went to a party with some of her friends. It was one of those wild parties that students usually throw. Everybody were dancing and enjoying themselves and drinking heavily. That night, one thing led to another, and Rachel ended up sleeping with a guy she barely even knew. She could not even remember his name the next day. In her mind, it was just a one-night stand. A few weeks later, she noticed something. Her period wasn't showing up. At first, she thought it was just stress from school or body hormones. She later bought a test kit and locked herself in the bathroom. The result came out positive. She was pregnant. Rachel broke down. She did not know what to do. She was so afraid of facing life as a mother when she was still trying to figure out her own life. She did not tell anyone, not even her close friends. She wore big clothes to hide the pregnancy and quietly stopped going out as much. When she gave birth, it was in a small clinic far from campus. She named the baby girl Stella. But motherhood was not easy. She did not even know who got her pregnant. She finally gathered the courage to tell her father, Pa James. To her surprise, Pa James didn't take it well at all. That was the first time of seeing her dad so furious. "You've brought shame to this family. You don't even know the father of the baby. What a shame," he said, "after everything I did for you." He just walked away. That was when Rachel knew that she was on her own. While other girls were preparing for their NYSC, Rachel was learning how to change diapers, how to breastfeed in the middle of the night, and how to rock a crying baby to sleep. She struggled, but she survived. She took up small jobs just to feed herself and her child, but she never let her daughter go to bed hungry. No matter how hard it got, she kept pushing. 3 years later, she got a stable job in a small but decent company. The pay was not plenty, but at least she could afford rent, feed Stella well, and save small for emergencies. For the first time in a long while, she could breathe. Then she met David, a calm and a mature guy. David was too good to be true. She kept waiting for something to go wrong. Instead, he was already talking about marriage. Rachel started getting scared. She had not told David about her daughter. She did not know how to tell him. She was afraid that if he found out, he would leave her. She kept imagining his face if she said, "I have a 3-year-old daughter." And each time she thinks about it, fear gripped her heart. She thought about it for days and finally made her decision. She packed a small bag, dressed Stella up, and took her to her father. With tears in her eyes, Rachel knelt down and said, "Daddy, please help me. There is a man who wants to marry me, and he must not know I have a child. Please, I'm begging you, help me keep Stella for a while. Just for a while. Let me settle down first." Pa James agreed to take care of Stella, if that is the reason she'll be able to get husband. Rachel hugged her daughter tightly and whispered in the ear, "Mommy loves you. I will come back and see you soon." Stella nodded. "Okay, Mommy, I love you too." That was how Stella started living with her grandpa. Since the day Rachel came to drop her, she did not come to visit her as she has promised. She left her daughter all alone for grandpa to take care of. She only speaks with him on phone and sends money for upkeep. After a while, Pa James started acting in a strange way. He started touching her in an inappropriate manner under the disguise that is playing with her, and whenever she's bathing her, his hand will stay too long on certain parts of Stella's body. Sometimes he would ask her to come and sit on his lap while watching TV. She was just a child and does not even understand the meaning of what Grandpa was doing. And to make things worse, he would give her sweets or biscuits after doing these things, like it was some kind of reward. There was no other person in the house, apart from Grandpa and her, that could even suspect what was going on. In all of this, Grandpa still brings different women into the house and sleeps with them. One Monday morning at school, Stella's teacher noticed something. There was blood stain on Stella's uniform. The teacher bent down and asked gently, "Stella, what happened to you?" The little girl looked up. "I don't know." The teacher looked confused. How can a 5-year-old girl start menstruating? Something was not right. She quickly took Stella to the school nurse. The moment the nurse examined her, she became really worried. She told the school that this was not something they should ignore and that Stella needed to be taken to the hospital immediately. At the hospital, after the doctor checked her, he called the school authority and told them Stella had been abused, not just once, but over a long period of time, and because of it, she had developed a serious infection. The news shocked everyone. How could this be? Who could be responsible for this? How could someone do such a terrible thing to a small child? They sat with her gently and asked her questions. At first, she did not say anything, but after some time, she whispered something. She said, "Grandpa do shook me with something." That was all the information they needed. The school authorities did not waste time. They contacted the police straight away. A case like this could not be ignored. Immediately, Pa James was arrested. The police asked for her mother's contacts, and Rachel was contacted that she needs to come to the police station right away. She immediately rushed down to the station and they broke the news to her. It was as if the ground should open up and swallow her. She kept saying, "This can't be true. This can't be true." But it was true. The man she grew up calling father abused her own child. This is impossible. But by the time Rachel rushed to the hospital to see her daughter, it was clear Stella had gone through things that no child should ever experience. Her condition had become worse. The infection had spread. Her tiny hands reached for her mother, and Rachel hugged her tightly and cried. The doctors were trying their best, but things were not improving. Rachel stayed with her daughter, crying and praying beside the bed. "God, please," she kept saying, "please don't take her away from me. I will do anything. I will never lie again. Please save my daughter." But sometimes, life does not give second chances. Early one cold morning, Stella stopped breathing. Rachel could not take it. She screamed and held her daughter close. She was shaking all over. No, please wake up. Don't leave me. Please, my baby. I'm so sorry. Please don't leave me." Doctors rushed in, but there was nothing they could do. Stella had died. Everybody in the hospital felt the pain that morning. Even people who did not know her were crying. Rachel could not stop blaming herself. She trusted her father. She thought her child was safe with him. The pain was so unbearable. And even though the law had taken its course, the damage had already been done. Her husband to-be found out about everything. He was so angry about it. How could you abandon and hide your own child? And why did you even keep it away from me? You are not fit to be a wife. What is the probability that you will be able to take care of my children for you to abandon your own child? He told her. It was really hot and he cancelled the wedding. Rachel wanted to protect her future. She wanted to hide her past and move on. But the secret she tried to cover ended up destroying the most precious thing in her life. This kind of thing happens around us. Please let us pay attention to our children. Let us not trust people too easily, even family members. Let us listen when a child is not acting normal. Create a safe space for your child to be able to open up to you. Sometimes, it is not outsiders that abuses children. Most times, the enemy is within. We hope you enjoy listening to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you next time. Bye.